It was a royal favourite that sadly has now been erased after 50 plus years on the television screens, seemingly because they didn't want a person over 60 hosting the show. Now, according to a very well-placed source, even Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal Princess Anne is more than upset at the demise of said show. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Nice to have your company. By the way, did you realise on this day for the very first time, yes, over 60 years ago, Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men made their debut? Can you imagine? I know. Let's try explaining that to somebody who doesn't understand British culture, who remembers weed popping up in between. Totally different meanings now, isn't it? You know, we thought that was funny as kids, didn't we? You never see those rerun anymore, do you? I wonder why not. Would be great fun to see Bill and Ben back on television, wouldn't it? You know, you don't remember? Well, check them out. You'll love it. A right giggle. Yes. Now, something that's not a right giggle is this particular problem, because it was a TV show that literally had a guest royal on it. Who remembers Princess Anne popping up on the brilliant Question of Sport all of those years ago, alongside Emily News, that's right, and Bill Beaumont. Now, it was a bit of a sort of rarity to see royalty being so relaxed, but that's the point that we've seen now with the Princess Royal for many years. She threatened to handbag, if you remember, Emily News, because he got into a bit of a spat with her, jokingly of course. A Question of Sport literally started way back in the 70s and proved to be a very simple but formulaic success. More recently, the former tennis player Sue Barker had been the main host, and ratings were at a steady 4 to 5 million. But guess what? The BBC decided to bin Sue because they felt that it was time for a fresh face. What they really meant was it didn't tick enough boxes, you know. Sue was simply the person that didn't fit into the new wokery world of the BBC, even though the British taxpayer funds that channel. So she was dispensed with rather cruelly. They replaced her with Paddy McGuinness, we told you about him recently, trying to latch on with the Prince Harry story, and a couple of people who you've never really heard of. Guess what? The ratings plummeted, and after 53 years, the show has now been axed. It literally lasted one series with the new team. The BBC are trying to backpedal, saying they may bring it back in the future. Why not just bring Sue Barker back, pay her a decent amount of money, and say you got it terribly wrong? Everybody else will be happy, Sue will be happy, and the Princess Royal will be happy. And guess what? People might even watch the programme once again. But you see, it's not about what you and I want, even though you're paying for it. They decided to go down this route, and you and I pay the price of losing a much favoured and liked by the royals programme. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.